I got another Patreon request from Ryan Walterson to review a hop. I actually meant to review this years ago, but I never got around to it. So thank you, Ryan, for your pledge on Patreon and this suggestion. Hop is actually the last Illumination film I haven't seen or reviewed. It's definitely the black sheep of their filmography because it's a live-action hybrid. The movie is about Easter, of course, and it follows two characters, James Marsden as Fred O'Hare as the human. That's right, his last name is O'Hare. That is, like, very on the nose. And then Russell Brand as E.B., which is just short for Easter Bunny, I guess. I often forget that this is an Illumination movie because of the live-action hybrid aspect of it. But they still have that Minion intro with the logo, so that's a reminder. The film's story is about how E.B. doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny and he wants to become a drummer. So he runs away right before his coronation on Easter Island, oh my god. And he goes to California where he runs into Fred, who is a bit of a deadbeat and a very compulsive liar, and a lot of the characters in this movie are just very unlikable, like even the main two. I thought his dad might be a bit more likable, but then he's sort of like speciest at some points, because there's this other plot with a chick named Carlos who wants to be the Easter Bunny, but then the dad of EB says he can't be the Easter Bunny because he's a chick. Which is very weird that there's chicks here and there are no chickens, it's just chicks because Easter, I guess. But that whole part of the movie with Carlos trying to take over Easter isn't really explored that much until the very end. But then there's this other plot element with the Pink Berets, which is the Easter Bunny's like royal guard or something that's trying to find EB. And they're all kind of like this Charlie's Angels type, I guess, but they don't really talk. But all the other bunnies do. And they have their own theme song, too. It's weird, but the main chunk of the movie is with Fred and EB. And a lot of their interactions with each other are actually very cringeworthy. Like, I physically cringed more watching this movie than I have watching, like, open surgery on intestines. Seriously, I had to look away during the I Want Candy scene. It's just so cringy. And speaking of that song, there are a lot of generic pop songs in this, which makes me hate it even more. It's the kind of annoying pop song soundtrack you'd hear in these kind of live-action hybrids at the time. Going back to why the main characters are unlikable, Fred, he like tries to kill EB when he first like meets him, and then EB is sort of a creep when he sniffs Fred's sister's hair. It's really weird and awkward. I get that this movie is trying to be an Easter movie since there's not a lot of those, but a lot of the times it feels like it's just trying to copy Christmas. Like they have a sleigh that's in the shape of an egg, but instead of reindeer they have chicks. Which it doesn't make sense for them to use because they also have a tunnel system that takes them anywhere in the world, so why would you have the sleigh? I'm pretty sure that's been pointed out in other reviews, I'm just bringing it up because it is a valid point. Also, the factory where they make all the candy reminds me a lot of the workshop from the Santa Claus. Though the animation in those portions of the movie look kind of dull shiny, if that makes any sense. Like, it's trying to be very shiny and clean looking, but in a very dull way. It's like they're trying to capture the same spirit of Christmas with Fred wanting to be the Easter Bunny because he saw the Easter Bunny as a kid, but the entire rest of the movie makes it very awkward and cringy. There's also a lot of other random things that I thought were really weird, like the fact that EB can poop jelly beans. There's also a cameo with Russell Brand talking to his character that he's voicing, which felt very self-important, though it is Russell Brand, so I guess it makes sense. And they also have David Hasselhoff as part of the movie. Like, not just a one-off cameo either, it's like a main part of the plot. Not that it's bad or anything, it was just interesting. None of the humor in the movie really worked for me. The characters were very unlikable, and some of the concepts about Easter just didn't work. Like the whole sleigh thing when they could have just used the tunnels. The animation on the characters doesn't much look like Illumination, though this is the only movie they've done live action with, but I have definitely seen other live action CG hybrids that have done it better. I may not like how generic some of the other Illumination movies are, but at least they're consistent. I appreciate the effort to make an Easter movie, but this is far from a good one. I would definitely prefer watching any of the other Illumination films rather than this. And that's saying something, because there are some that I really don't like. So if you have seen Hop, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Happy Easter!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to